Welcome. Hello. You're here with Caleb. I'm Ryan. This is Boyan. We're with Culinary Crafts. We're a full-service caterer in Utah, and today we're going to be doing some daytime drinking. We do like 1,000 parties a year. Over half of those are running a specialty cocktail bar. Boyan is our director of bar and beverage, so the three of us have a lot of fun together with the rest of our crew, demoing recipes, because someone's got to do it, right? Someone has to figure out what cocktails taste the best and what recipes taste the best. It's a hard job, but we're up to the challenge. And we've had so much fun this summer that we really wanted to show you some of the recipes that we've been enjoying lately and some of the fun experiments that we've been doing. So today we are going to lead off with a fat-washed old-fashioned using a Highland single malt, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct, yeah. So today we'll be presenting a smoking bacon fat wash old-fashioned cocktail. And yes, you're right. Definitely we're going to be using the McLaren's Highland single malt rather than bourbon or rye whiskey. The reason I chose to use the McLaren's Highland single malt, I think it will complement the savory flavors of bacon and the smokiness of bacon. Highland is a region in Scotland which is really well known to make delicious, balanced scotches, balanced with sweet, salt, and woody. And I think those flavors will match really well together. We're going to use some maple syrup as our sugar, different kind of bitters and orange. And on the very end, as a last step, we're actually going to smoke that with some oak wood chip and make it even more richer than it is.
Awesome. I think for a lot of people, it can get confusing with all the different terminology around Scotch and whiskey and bourbon and what all that means. So for a single malt, that has to come from a single distillery using only 100% malted barley as the grain.
That's correct, yeah. Love this.
Oh, also, the one other thing I did forget to mention, the best part about doing a new cocktail series on video is that now we have an excuse to drink a cocktail at 9 a.m.
Yes, so let's do it.
I'm totally excited about it. All right, let's start with the first step. I'll be showcasing different steps of fat washing a cocktail. The main part is actually to choose your spirits and mix it with your fat you have chosen as well. You can do different parts. You can choose your different ratios. In this case, I chose 4-to-1 ratio, 4 parts of whiskey, 1 part of bacon fat. I want that bacon flavor in it, intensified, strong and rich, a lot of body. So that's what we're doing.
Smoke that bacon?
The bacon was actually smoked before.
Yeah. Kind of the definition of bacon. That's not bacon. That's not bacon.
That's not a bacon, like
Bacon is always smoked.
All right, let's get into it.
You fat wash a cocktail. This is one of the really cool things that happen. Alcohol is just like a really powerful extracting agent, and the reason is alcohol has dual polarity. Whereas water only has one type of polarity, fat only has one, but alcohol has both. So alcohol can extract flavors from compounds that are water soluble. Alcohol can also extract flavors from compounds that are fat soluble. So this is something really, really cool that only alcohol or only a few things can do. And so what we're going to do here is the same way that you might like soak fruit in a spirit to infuse it with flavors. You can soak oils and fats into with the spirits to infuse it with flavors, and you can actually start to marry different flavors that wouldn't normally be soluble in the same solution. And so what Boyan's doing here is just adding rendered fat. Bacon fat is what we're doing today, but I've done this with bone marrow drippings. I mean, I've done this with melted butter, all sorts of things, and it works really, really well. And we're going to take out some of those flavors that are normally in the fats and infuse them the same way you might infuse if you've ever made homemade vanilla and you're drawing out some of the fat soluble flavors from the vanilla bean into your vodka or rum. We're doing the same thing here, drawing out some of the fat soluble flavors from the bacon into the scotch.
So that's going to add like a lot of different layers of flavor and complexity, as well as like a silky smooth texture. Now, a lot of people get frightened at this stage because they're looking at a pretty hefty amount of bacon fat that we added in. But we're going to skim back out the top because we're going to let that recongeal. So Boyan's going to tell us a little about how that process works.
It's actually pretty simple. It's not as scary as a lot of people do think. Basically, the first step is, as you guys saw, mixing the spirit with the fat, and then you can stir it with the mixing spoon, or you can shake the jar. None of those are wrong. It will do it. It will do the job. Second step would be actually like determining how long you want to keep that on the room temperature. So if you want more like richer, intensified flavors of the bacon, I would suggest like leaving it over 24 hours, a period of time on a room temperature. Some people do it just for a few hours if they want just less of that fat infused with the spirit. I did for 24 hours, and I actually do have another jar which I have mixed the other day, and this is how it basically looks like after 24 hours. You can see the fat kind of separated from the alcohol, and it looks so good and so yummy. I do have another jar to showcase as well. So the next step after leaving it 24 hours at the room temperature would be putting...
It doesn't hurt to leave it longer.
Or longer, yes.
So like when I do this at home, I usually go for 2 or 3 days, and I just leave it, you know, sitting on the kitchen counter in my kitchen. Every time I walk past, I give it a quick shake up, re-agitate the fat and the alcohol again, and I come back, and it needs at least 12 hours. But after that, it's not going to hurt it to go longer. So you can just kind of come back to it when you're ready to move on to the next step.
It needs contact with the surface area of the fat. So re-agitating it to put it back in contact with the
correct. Yeah, lovely. So this was in a freezer overnight. So now we have all that fat solidified on top of the alcohol in the jar. The next step would be scraping off the fat and straining it through a coffee filter or a cheesecloth. Those are preferred methods. I'm using a paper coffee filter in this case for today. And there we go. That was a nice. There's a big chunk right off to the top.
And so this is demonstrating how, like, sometimes when I tell people about batch washing the spirits, they're like, well, I don't want to have grease and oil in my cocktail. That sounds too rich. But what we're going to do is we are going to take that fat back out. So we've mixed the fat and the spirit at first, but then we're going to leave it sit on the counter while it shakes up, and then we're going to put it in the freezer overnight. It's going to solidify. We're going to end up with this solid.
We got it out.
You can throw that away, or you can save it.
Or you can save it and reuse it. Yeah, it took me a minute because a big piece of
it for this
fat.
Purpose, because most of the flavors that are valuable mixing into a spirit are already gone. We got them into scrambled eggs, so you could cook with it. The other thing that I like to do is when I'm making homemade mayonnaise, which is I normally do with olive oil and eggs, I take about 1/3 part of whatever the olive oil would be, and I use leftover fat wash. So I use a little duck fat or a bacon grease. If you do too much, it'll kind of overwhelm your mayonnaise. But an olive oil mayonnaise with a little bit of whiskey washed leftover bacon grease is. So let's show what all those. It's excellent for a sandwich.
So what we've got here is a couple of the different stages, just so you can kind of see what they look like. So this is that one that we just blended the fat into, and it's going to sit at room temperature. After that sits at room temperature for a day or 2 or 3. It'll kind of look like that with the fat starting to congeal on the top. Then this last stage is after it's been in the freezer and all that fat will congeal at the top. You'll pull off that plug, and then you'll filter that through a coffee filter, which we can actually show in just a second. And you'll end up with this kind of clear but slightly hazy, rich Scotch rig mixed cocktail.
Yeah, gets that like nice silky texture. Well, let's jump right into it and strain that to a coffee filter. So you want to get rid of those particles that you don't want to end up in a cocktail. As you can see, it's coming out really clear and pretty fast. I'd say a lot of people think that takes forever, but this is going pretty well so far.
A stainless steel mesh filter, like a coffee filter, works really well. Some of the oils will sneak through that stainless steel mesh. The same way, like if you do a pour over with a stainless steel mesh, or if you do a French press with your coffee, there's a little bit of those coffee oils that sneak through, but it does a pretty good job. If you want to make sure you get it totally clear and get all the oils out, paper is the way to go. And I always just recommend to rinse the paper with a little hot water before you put it in there. just to get rid of the paper flavor. Dump that water away, and then pour in your spirit, and it's going to come out crystal clear and lovely. All the flavors are coming through, but none of the oils are coming through.
Well, while that one's finished and dripping, let's use the one that's
And make our final cocktail, right? Alrighty. Gorgeous. I'm just gonna move these jars out of the way. Lovely. Okay. In this particular recipe that I made, I'm gonna be using 2 ounces of fat wash single malt with bacon. So let's start with that. I'm gonna be adding 2 ounces of it into a mixing glass. And I'll follow up with maple syrup. I'm just gonna use half an ounce of maple syrup. That will be that sugar that I need for the old fashioned, rather than using just a regular simple syrup or maybe a demerara. I think that will go really beautifully with bacon fat.
usually that was
Indeed.
ounce of that.
That's just a half an ounce of this, so total of 2.5 ounces in the mixing glass so far. And I'm gonna use 2 dashes of Angostura bitters and 2 dashes of orange bitters as well, just to make the cocktail even richer in texture and body as well.
And there's a reason why the old fashioned is a classic cocktail, because you're getting sweet, you're getting bitter,
Exactly.
you're getting some complexity. In this case, we're adding even more complexity with bacon.
With the bacon pass.
We're going to end up with a really complex something.
And for me, that is one of the easiest ways to understand what a cocktail is at its heart and what makes it a cocktail different than a mixed drink. I like to say that all cocktails are mixed drinks. Not all mixed drinks are cocktails. And a cocktail, for a purist of the word, means spirit, sugar, and bitters at a minimum. That's the base. In the case of the old fashioned, sometimes not much else. Just the whiskey, the syrup, and the bitters, and that's all there is. Now, in this case, we've done 2 bitters, and we've also washed the spirit with a little fat, so you can add in extra layers, but that's the base. So, other mixed drinks, like a screwdriver, just your orange juice and vodka, be a great drink. It's kind of a cocktail. The cocktail has a certain layer of complexity, a certain layer of bitter and sweet mix. Yes. And that is a beautiful old-fashioned. So the old-fashioned is like a cocktail, perhaps at its simplest and more. And the other thing you need for a cocktail, or a mixed drink for that matter, garnish.
Exactly.
Never serve a group though. That's neat.
We're gonna use an orange peel to express top of the rim. I'm gonna squeeze it and let the juices go on the sides. So we just strained our cocktail into a rocks glass. Now the next step will be me smoking the final product with some wood oak chip. So let's jump right into it.
There are several devices that you can use to do this. Boyan has this really cool device that will sit on top of a glass. You put some small wood chips in there, you hit it with a blowtorch, and the smoke will breathe down into the glass. We'll watch that he does this. But you can get like a smoking cloche. That's something we sometimes use as a little cloche or a lantern box where we can fill the box up with smoke. Smoke it that way. One of the simplest ways to do this that I have to do at home because it's so quick and easy is I just get a cedar plank, like the same sort of cedar plank you might use to cook fish on.
Look at all this.
I get it burning with a blowtorch, and then I trap my glass over it, let the smoke swirl on the glass, and then finally uncover it before I pour my cocktail in. The idea with the smoke is not so much to infuse the liquid itself, because that's not really what's going to happen. If you want to get smoke into the flavor of the cocktail, you need a smoky ingredient that goes into it. What this is going to do, it's going to coat the glass, it's going to coat the ice cube, and it's going to give a lot of aromatics. So when you bring the glass to your nose, you're going to get all this smokiness. And then when you go to sip the cocktail, that's going to dissipate, and you're going to get the bacon and the whiskey.
Garnish with an
Philip,
oil.
would you like to taste that?
So you get the sip for.
Let's try you out first.
3 sips together. No problem.
Yeah. I've tried it many times. Yeah.
About something like that. Yeah, that's the aromatics that are love, a lot of smoke smell, and then less of it when you actually drink. You'll get less of the smoke flavor. Yeah. So it's this great thing to.
What do we think?
Oh yeah, take the.
And it's like
So you get this smokiness. I can smell the fresh orange peel.
an old fashioned on steroids.
Yeah.
I love what bacon does
That is incredible.
to single malts.
That's one of the best cocktails I've ever had.
I love how those
I've had a lot of cocktails.
I love how those flavors match together. The salty, the sweet,
Yeah.
the bitter, all that savory
Cool.
and complexity is just
I think that this cocktail it is everything an old fashioned should be, but this is so much
Megan Fuller
more.
that says, "How does it taste?" It tastes delicious. It tastes delicious.
This is the sort of old fashioned that sometimes people who think they don't like a spirit forward cocktail, they should try because the fat washing softens out all the edges. And people who think they don't like a whiskey drink maybe think they should try this because it just is so much smoother and easier drinking.
That'll change your mind. If you don't like Scotch, it'll change your mind.
Yeah.
I can definitely get a lot of that salt, sweet, bitter, savory parts and the body from bacon fat wash. I think this is a delightful old fashioned, which you can consume as a breakfast old fashioned or lunch old fashioned any time of the day. And absolutely love
The
it.
thing about fat washing is that even in a sweet cocktail, you'll still get like a little bite from a spirit forward cocktail with, when it's alcohol poured on the palate. This has almost none of that. It's just smooth. It's like bacon silk in your mouth. That is incredible. Yeah. Let's have another taste of that.
But while we taste that, if you have any questions, feel free to send us an email through our website. We would love to share the actual recipe. If you need any help getting to try this at home, we would love to help you out. This is, we're not trying to sell you on this cocktail or sell you on an event today. We're just trying to share our passion and excitement. We do hope you try this at home. You can use bacon fat and Scotch. You can use duck fats and rye. You can start to play around with a few other things. In fact, in an upcoming video, we're going to show you one where we infuse a cocktail with blue cheese in this similar process. So, cheers.
Cheers, you guys.
Well.
Well.